Because what they want is this. They want computing resources as a utility, just like electricity, just like water. You switch it on, you use it, it works. When you don't need it anymore, you switch it off, right? When you turn on the light, you're not worrying about all the generators and all the distribution networks that actually bring electricity to your home or your business. You just switch it on, right? And there are a ton of complex processes happening. But you don't worry about that. You just want a utility service. And it's not only a startup thing. You could say, okay, fine. This is really a little radical for me, But look at this gentleman, the CIO from General Electric. It's a huge American company, obviously. I'm sure you've heard about them. They were founded in the 19th century. And that gentleman, Jim Fowler, came on stage at our event last October in the US. And look at what he said, right? Said, hey, my business is not running data centers. My business is, among other things, to build airplane engines. And my airplane engines are not going to be more popular, more successful, because I run data centers really well. And that's very typical of what people say in the industry, large companies and startups. They want to focus on their core business. And that's what we see every day. Cloud computing is becoming the new normal. People don't want to go and buy servers anymore and wait for weeks and months for those servers to be installed. They want to flick the switch and get the computing power. And they want to start building things immediately, within days, maybe within hours. And once you had a taste of it, you're not going back. So anything else that is still running on legacy infrastructure in their own data centers, they want to move it as fast as they can to the cloud. And today, AWS has over 1 million active customers all over the world. Large companies, small companies, government agencies, universities, lots of non-profit organizations. Very different organizations from all sizes, all countries, all businesses, and all of them are just moving to the cloud to get these extra benefits. But of course, I'm in Norway today, right? So it's important to talk about your local heroes. I could point to a few ones. Telenor. I'm sure everybody knows Telenor. It's a long-time AWS customer. They have a bunch of great presentations on the web. One from a few years ago is called AWS for Dinosaurs. You should look it up. It's extremely funny. And it gives you some insight on how a large, complex company and business like Telenor is actually leveraging AWS. I could mention Schibsted Media Group, who ran a very successful project some time ago. They migrated a single sign-on application used by 3.5 million readers in 4 hours. Actually, it was on two 2-hour slots at night, right? 2 evenings, 2 times 2 hours, 2 evenings, job done, not going back. I could mention Ticktail, which is a Swedish company, Swedish e-commerce company. And they run 100,000 stores online, 2 million products, and they've been running in AWS from day one. They never even bought a single server. Of course, I have to mention Supercell. Anyone playing Boom Beach or Clash of Clans? Come on, raise your hand. No? Your kids, maybe. Yeah, come on, you are playing Boom Beach. You don't want to admit it. So, fantastic gaming company from Finland. And these guys, they have to handle 45 billion real-time events every day. 45 billion events. And they do this using AWS services, notably Kinesis, which you may have heard about. And of course, Spotify. Who's listening to music on Spotify? Oh yeah, all right. Okay, you're big music fans. Okay, fantastic. Not so much gaming, but music. Okay, Spotify, again, long time AWS customer, and they add 20,000 new tracks every day. Imagine if you were an enterprise storage manager at a large company, and maybe some people are here. Do we have storage managers in the room? I'm sure, yes. and your boss told you, hey, we need to add 20,000 tracks every day. How would you do that every single day? Pretty tricky. And I could go on for hours. Household names, Nokia, Volvo, many more. So as you can see, startups are using AWS, large companies are using AWS, and even big complex companies like Telenor, telco, is actually using us too. And so you have to ask yourself why. Why are we seeing so many companies moving to the cloud so quickly? Well, there are a few reasons. And the main one, actually, is agility. It's the ability to build stuff, to start building stuff within hours. Move from ID to prototype to completed project as fast as you can, without worrying about buying servers, running servers, having budget for them, blah, blah, blah. Agility is the #1 thing our customers like. The second thing I already mentioned, it's really, do without any heavy lifting. And when you're racking servers, believe me, do we have some people in the room who have actually racked physical servers or storage? Yeah, all right, a few ones. Okay, you know what I mean. When I say heavy lifting, I mean heavy lifting. When you do that all day, you sleep pretty well at night. But most importantly, it's really, installing servers, patching the operating system, creating tickets for whatever, talking to your suppliers because your delivery got late, talking to your telco operator because your network is not functioning, etc. Again, I could go on for hours and list problems with physical infrastructure. So just ignore all of that, focus on your business. The third thing is you can go global in minutes, and that's not bragging. We have a technology called CloudFormation. You may have heard about that. It's infrastructure as code. You describe your infrastructure in a text file, literally, in a JSON file. And once you've done that, you can launch the building of your infrastructure in any AWS region. And within a few clicks, you can literally build a data center in AWS within minutes. Okay? So let's say your business is running great in Europe and you want to launch in the US. Well, within a day, within hours, your infrastructure can be ready in the US. Right? If you're trying to do this with physical infrastructure, and I did in a previous life, we're not talking hours, we're talking months. And that's a big difference when your customers are waiting for you. Or maybe they won't wait for you. Of course, another benefit is moving from capital expense, from CapEx to OpEx. Right? Buying servers, buying routers, etc. requires a lot of money up front before you even start building your project. When you use AWS services, you pay as you go. So, no money up front. You just pay as you go, and you scale up or down as you need. And given the scale of AWS, with more than 1 million customers, you get a better price on your infrastructure that you could do on your own because of the volume of hardware and data center that we're building and buying. We get prices that you can never hope to get. So the scale factor is really important. And of course, you just stop guessing capacity. When you need to buy the hardware, how many servers do you need, how much storage do you need, how many database servers do you need, how much network bandwidth do you need, and you have to commit for 3 years, 5 years sometimes. And if you have too little, it's a problem. If you have too much, it's a waste of money. So stop guessing. One thing you notice when you talk to people who are using the cloud and AWS services, it's how passionate they are. It's not just another IT vendor. It's not just another way of building infrastructure. They really, they really love it. And why is that? Well, because, it gives them freedom, simple as that. And when you're a builder, when you want to build your business, when you want to build your company, when you want to build your technology stack, there are a lot of things that stand in your way if you're doing it the traditional way. And I'm sure, those quotes, everybody has heard them, and unfortunately is probably still hearing them in their companies. It's not just a technical thing, right? If you're a marketing person, if you're a salesperson, if you're an HR person, and you have an idea for a cool project, and of course if you're a techie, if you have an idea for a cool project and you want to get to the other side of that project and bring it to production, every day you will hear about that. Oh no, that's not possible. No, we don't have the budget. No, we don't have the capacity for it. And even if you have the budget, and even if you have the capacity, and even if you have the manpower, and even if you have no technical problems, you always get to, okay, please create a ticket. Open a port on the firewall, please create a ticket. Can you provision 10 gigabytes of storage? Please create a ticket. This is driving me mad and a lot of people mad. So people don't want to work that way anymore. We didn't go through computer science schools and business schools to hear this, right? We want to get from A to B in the fastest way possible, in the most efficient way possible. We want to have fun doing it, and we want to create value for our businesses. And so it's really about freedom. The whole story is really about freedom in your own job, and having control on your destiny.